At NCID, our vision is to use diversity scholarship to empower people and institutions to create a truly equitable and inclusive society. One of the ways we do this is by catalyzing and elevating research that helps us to understand and challenge systemic racism in all its forms.
The vision and mission of the Anti-Racism Collaborative is to develop both a community of scholars who are committed to anti-racism scholarship and to deliver to that community a set of tools that allow them to do the very best work possible.
We get to supplement the training of these junior scholars who are going to be the leaders of the future.
The big picture goals of our research project were to really explore what an actively anti-racist museum space and classroom space would look like. Museum educators are getting trained, and then they're providing tours for students from Ypsilanti that focus on this anti-racist content.
The group of kids that we were working with had, because of COVID, not had a field trip before. It just ends up inherently having a super big impact on the kids because it's their first field trip.
The Precedents for Change grant was vital. We can now imagine a bigger future of what we can do with students in the museum.
Coming in, I kind of felt like my research idea had to be set in stone, but the meetings with the research staff allowed me to see that my research can evolve. I can focus in on certain things, and so going to those meetings and getting that support really allowed me to create a very concise project that looked at a specific problem. This grant has allowed me to conduct a project that shows that I really can make an impact in the aging field, and so I've recently been appointed as a Washtenaw County Commissioner for the Commission on Aging, and so I'm using the fuel from that to try to make a change in this community.
My project was to understand the discrepancies and differences between how communities that exist in proximity to colleges and universities might conceptualize ideas of safety differently than the institution itself. Both of these communities, despite existing in the same geospatial area, often think about safety in very, very different ways.
The project that I'm working on is designed to help users understand exactly what's happening with their data when they upload it to a dating company. With this grant, I'm really pulling together several of the leading scholars in the field to think through what it means for the individual user to say to a company, hey, I'm not comfortable with the way that you're using my data. NCID has been a really great place to go for the kind of work that I'm doing.
My dissertation research is focused on science identity and racial identity development of Latina undergraduate students. Our work is really advancing ideas about how to best support Latina students in STEM education. Without this grant, I would not have been able to actually do the study in person, would have had to do these interviews remotely. So through this graduate research grant, we had monthly meetings where I was able to meet other grantees throughout the process. And it was wonderful to just have that sense of community with other scholars who are really dedicated to anti-racism. And those were really helpful for me as I was engaging in data analysis and trying to think about how I'm going to be framing this work moving forward. I was also given the opportunity to share my work with the broader University of Michigan community during the showcase, and that was a really great way to provide an elevator pitch about my work with the broader community.
The ARC grant was really helpful for me. It really gave me the opportunity that grad students aren't usually afforded to be able to execute and have full oversight on their entire project from the IRB process all the way to publication.
My hope for the future is that my research will be able to inform social movement organizations and community organizations to be able to create more inclusive social justice movements.
My hope is that the NCID in the future becomes a model for how higher educational institutions can approach anti-racism scholarship and scholarship around diversity more generally. And I look forward to NCID providing a roadmap for how institutions, public and private, big and small, can incorporate the relationship of scholarship and social change in their institutions in a healthy and positive way.